With the latest developments in the Thargoid War coming to light, I believe we now have the tools we need that may turn the tide on the Thargoid War and move the progression needle to the next stage, possibly in our favor. Foxtrot Echo One here, and I'm going to tell you why I think we are headed in the right direction in the Thargoid War. After Salvation tried to exterminate the Thargoids and failed, 8 Thargoid Titan motherships arrived near the incident and started sending out thousands of First Strike survey ships called Orthrus. In human mythology, Orthrus has a few meanings, but it is said that Orthrus means daybreak or morning twilight. It's a two-headed dog with a serpent's tail. I believe this variant gave the Thargoids quite the element of surprise and a huge advantage in the Thargoid War. As humans were mostly unaware of the existence of this variant, we had no idea to even look for them. The Orthrus silently moved through the bubble, mostly undetected by humans, once the motherships had the intel they needed for an attack, or possibly just searching for those responsible for trying to commit Thargoid genocide. The motherships unleashed legions of Thargoid variants into human-occupied space. If you had reported seeing an Orthrus, you were likely ignored or mocked, as no other variant would simply disappear after being spotted. Most of the Thargoids from the motherships are extremely aggressive and intended to do harm to humans. These ninja-like Thargoids were mostly thought of as ghost stories and tall tales that humans would tell each other. Over time, more and more pilots reported the existence of the Orthrus variant and even started to show proof that they were actually out there, spying us to see where they might strike. Some pilots were able to kill these variants and started to report locations and methods of finding them. Many of the combat pilots were still unable to find these variants, so hunter pilots were needed to seek them out with the patience and the perseverance to keep looking and taking them down when found. Gradually, the humans created better tech and strategies for dealing with these systems under invasion, and eventually started making some progress in slowing these attacks down, and eventually got to a place where the attacks seemed to be focused in a particular area of the human bubble. It is unknown for sure if the Thargoids truly intend to exterminate the human race, or if they are just simply trying to find those responsible without realizing they are taking innocent lives in the process. This is something I hope we can resolve in the coming months. Recently, the motherships have revealed themselves to the humans due to our cunning technology that allows us to get past the pulse wave barrier. The barrier was shrouding the motherships in mystery for several months. The motherships had spoken out, letting us know through Sinjin E that they knew we were coming. I believe they're testing us, and when we get past their tests, they allow us to see more of their operations and intentions, either to scare us or give us an opportunity to communicate with them somehow. They know we can't really hurt them, and maybe they feel emboldened enough to show more of their cards in this conundrum. The mothership reveal allowed us to see where the variants come from, and even displays of powers that we don't currently understand. Motherships do their jobs while waiting on the humans to make their move. They seem to have the situation well in control, and the humans are always scrambling to find out more information to stop this war from progressing into all human-occupied space. There is one curious thing I have noticed about the motherships. We don't see any Hydras or Orthrus coming from the mothership's maw, as we do with many other Thargoid variants. Do these variants come from somewhere else? Are they currently all deployed? Only time will tell on that front, but makes me wonder how they travel if not through a mothership. When the motherships were exposed, I personally feel like they actually let us in more than I think we made our own progress. They also brought with them a new variant called the Glaive Hunter, a nasty little scout-sized creature with superpowers and a bad attitude. I believe that the introduction of this variant is an expression of power and to let us humans know that we have no idea what we're actually dealing with. The once mostly nuisance scout ships became more powerful, gained in numbers, accuracy, and used group tactics to take down human pilots, forcing us to find more creative ways of thwarting them than mostly ignoring them as was previously done in the past. It was at this point in the war when something interesting happened. The once elusive Orthros variant became emboldened enough to come out into the open where combat pilots such as myself can find them. They bring with them a large force of scouts to protect them, but there is a definite and noticeable increase in the activity, and the alerted systems are more capable of tracking if an invasion is repelled. There's also another variant that has become quite out in the open as of late, called the Revenant. These drone-like creatures seem to be searching for something or protecting abandoned human bases on the surface of conquered planets. Not much is known about what they are doing there, but with the help of scouts and Cyclops, they are definitely trying to find or defend something. They won't let humans stand in the way of that endeavor. More research is needed to find out their true intentions. With all of this, several new materials have been produced and can be found in the maelstroms and on the motherships. These materials appear to be useful going forward. If you notice the names of these materials, it would lead me to believe that we may be able to use them to fortify our ships that are better suited to handle the Thargoids as a threat, or possibly work alongside them against an even bigger enemy. You don't think the motherships are the biggest or the baddest in the galaxy, do you? Silly pilots. I think we're just getting started. With all the new developments and more investigation underway, I believe we can take better control of this war and possibly turn the mothership's attention to a point of taking us more seriously. Maybe we can even have a conversation about why they are so mad, or at least find out what they are searching for so we can either help them find it or use it against them. One thing has me curious though, what in the heck did Salvation and Azimuth Biotech do to these Thargoids that they felt we needed to wipe them from existence? I don't believe there is any evidence that points to the Thargoids that we have encountered so far that indicates they are a threat to humanity. This is ultimately the question I think we will uncover. I feel that Salvation and his dirty laundry will one day be uncovered and someone will be held accountable for the atrocities of the human race. Hopefully that will happen before the motherships call on an even larger single entity to put an end to the human race. I believe there's a queen out there, and I bet she's not very friendly when you destroy her children. Until next time, Commanders, this is Foxtrot Echo One, out.